internet, I cut my hair. I also have a huge stack of books right in front of me that are going to fall very soon. So I'm going to tell you my summer to be read pile, and there's probably a lot more books, and I'll do like library hauls for that, I guess. But I'm just gonna get started. So the first book is the book I'm reading right now. It is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is like my third time trying to read it, and this is the farthest I've gotten yet. I'm like 55 pages into it. Also, I have a really cool bookmark. Yeah, I have a poster of that right over there. But whatever. I don't know what this is about. It's a movie. Carey Mulligan, Keira Knightley, and Andrew Garfield are in it, and I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, I want to see that, but I pledged to read it first. So I'm reading this first. And it's interesting-ish. I'm excited for it to pick up, and I think I'll finish it this time. You can follow my progress on Goodreads. So the next book I have is Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Oh my god, I can make it match up on my face. Wouldn't that be a cool screen capture thing? I don't know what they're called. This is a dystopian book. It's kind of sort of popular right now. I got it for $7. I might as well read it this summer. I like Lauren Oliver. She wrote another book called Before I Fall, which is also in this pile. It's like in the middle. It's in the middle of the pile, so you'll see it later. But I'm gonna read this summer and see if it's good or not, and I'm really excited to do so. Next, I have The Once and Future King by T.H. White, and I borrowed this book from school, and the teacher never asked for it back, so it's mine. I'm gonna read this because I was supposed to read this last summer, and I didn't. It's basically the story of King Arthur, and it's 4 books, and I'm gonna read it, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. Okay, so I also want to read a lot of Fitzgerald this summer, but I only have one book checked out right now, which is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and Other Jazz Age Stories, but I want to read a lot of Fitzgerald this summer, and some Salinger too. So, yeah, I'm excited to read this. Next, right now I'm going through all the library books, and then my books, like Delirium is the one exception, and I guess The Once and Future King. So the next book I want to read is Derby Girl, because I saw the movie Whip It and did not realize that it was a book first. So I'm going to read this, and I'm really excited about it, because Whip It's an awesome movie. You should watch it. The next book I got from a recommendation from Lizzie Books. It is called The Selection. I guess I can maybe annotate. This is her review to it right here, and she made it sound really cool. And I'll link her, I guess, in the down bar. Rachel using lingo. So weird. It looks really cool. I don't really know what it's about, but I don't want to at the same time. Okay, so the next 3 books I have checked out many times before, like Never Let Me Go, but this summer I will read them and I will finish them. The first is The Mysterious Benedict Society, which is about getting into a spy academy, I believe, about kids getting into a spy academy and being in the Mysterious Benedict Society. It is by Trenton Lee Stewart, and it looks really cool, and I like juvenile literature still. I mean, I read Swallows and Amazons this year, and that was awesome, so yeah. Okay, the next book is the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. It is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. It looks really cool. It's about a bunch, it's like all the there's no girls, and all the men can hear each other's thoughts. And I don't really know, but it's talked about a lot, and I wanted to read it to get my own opinion on it. Okay, and then the third book that has been taken out so many times and has never been read by me is book 1 of the Mortal Instruments series, saga. I don't know what it is. I think it's a series. And it is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I'm going to read it this summer, I promise. I promise. I'm going to read it and know if I love it or if I hate it, because that's what a lot of the reviews have been. But I get a lot of people loving it, so I'm hopeful. Okay, now these are all books that I have owned either for some time, I've just never gotten around to reading, or just bought yesterday at a local bookstore in New Haven called Atticus. It's really cool. More on that later. So, like I mentioned before with Delirium, I have Lauren Oliver's Before I Fall. I've read this once before. I bought it. It was $7. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I bought this. I want to reread it because Kaylee reads, or I will say Hoot, read it, and she liked it a lot. So I was gonna try it out, man. Okay, so the next book I got was at Atticus, which is an independent bookstore in New Haven, and it is Ray Bradbury's Will Always Have Paris stories, and they're just a bunch of short stories, and he died, unfortunately, 3 or 4 days ago, and that really upset me because while I didn't enjoy reading Fahrenheit 451 in the 8th grade, I now see that, like, it was really good, and he had a lot of really amazing, what's the right word? He basically was, like, really cool with his predictions, and I'm just excited to read this, and I like Paris, and 2012 sucks because all the authors are dying. Okay. So the next 5 books are a series I want to reread. There are 2 more books, and the final one is coming out this summer. It is a kids series, but whatever. I am rereading it. This would be the Artemis Fowl series, which I loved these when I was a kid. And so the first book is Artemis Fowl, and I have the classics, like the original, like shiny. I have the original additions to the first 5. So I have Artemis Fowl and the Arctic Incident, Artemis Fowl and the Eternity Code, Artemis Fowl and the Opal Deception. There's no and, I apologize, it's the Harry Potter in me talking. And then Artemis Fowl, The Lost Colony, which I never finished when it came out. I think those are 2 more books. There's one with the Time Paradox and something about the Atlantis Complex, I believe. They're by Ian Colfer, and he also did a book called Airman, which I think I have somewhere, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm going to reread that. I'm also going to read something I started long ago. It is another children's series. It is Dave Barry and Riley Pearson's Peter and the Starcatchers, which I started like so many years ago and got like this much through it, and then I just stopped. I think it's actually now a Broadway play too. So I want to read this. I want to read the series because I believe it is a series, and this just looks really cool, and I want to finish it. Okay. So now we're going back to the YA stuff. I'm going to start dropping the books now. So this is one of the books I want to read by this particular author. I don't have all the books I want to read this summer. They haven't come in from the library yet. But I really want to read The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. I got this book for Christmas, and I haven't read it yet, and I've been dying to. I want to read this by her, and I want to read The Bermuda's Triangle, and Devilish, and then I think I will have read all of her books. I also probably would want to reread the Sweet Scarlet series she has, but I really want to read this. This looks awesome. It's about this girl, Rory, who moves to a boarding school in London, and these Jack the Ripper murders start up again, but it's just really cool, and she's like the only one who's seen the guy, and I don't really know everything because I kind of like to go into books without knowing what's going to happen. So I'm excited to read this. So the next 4 books I have are all part of a series. I've already read the first of this series, but I'm going to reread it because I feel like I should. And that would be The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brochers. I'm not good at pronunciations. This is why I take Latin. But I have all 4, either secondhand or from my cousins, which is secondhand nonetheless. But I read this last summer and I really liked it, and I always meant to read the other 3, which I have right here. So the series is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, The Second Summer of the Sisterhood, Girls in Pants, and Forever in Blue. There's also a 5th book, which is it's about another sisterhood summer, and I read a spoiler on it because no one posted a spoiler in their comment, and I was reading reviews on it. And I want to read that series this summer so I can say, yeah, I read it. Now my final book is one I'm very excited to read that I've been holding off reading for about a month. I got it 2 or 3 days after it came out, It is the sequel to a very popular dystopian novel that was also released last year. This book would be Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Now, I have seen on Goodreads that some people weren't too happy with this, which makes me a little nervous, but I'm hoping that I'll really like it, and I want to see what happens to Triss and Four, and if Christina is still going to like Triss after what happened at the end of Divergent. And that was such a good book, and I want to reread it too, so I'm kind of holding off on reading this until I can maybe get my hands on a copy of Divergent. So that is my summer to be read pile. There are definitely going to be a lot more books. I definitely want to read some of David Levithan's stuff, because I really enjoyed his collaboration with John Green on Will Grayson, and so I think that will be really great for me to just look into, and I'll probably find a lot more I want to read. But that is really it for now. Alright, so I hope you all have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye!